This Sunday is our first Sunday of Advent. A new liturgical year has begun. The first candle of the Advent wreath is lit. We mark the 4 Sundays before the celebration of Christmas. Our gospel focuses on the second coming of Jesus. We know that Jesus is with us at every celebration of the Eucharist, and we also look forward in joyful hope for that second coming. The passage is Matthew chapter 24, verses 37 to 44. Let's take a listen. Jesus said to his disciples, "As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. In those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day that Noah entered the ark. They did not know until the flood came and carried them all away. So will it be also at the coming of the Son of Man. 2 men will be out in the field. One will be taken, and one will be left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill. One will be taken, and one will be left. Therefore, stay awake, for you do not know on which day your Lord will come. Be sure of this, if the master of the house had known the hour of night when the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and not let his house be broken into. So, too, you also must be prepared, for at an hour you do not expect, the Son of Man will come." Jesus indicates that the second coming will be at a time we do not expect. He tells his listeners, go back to the time of Noah. The flood took everyone by surprise. The second coming will be like that. It will be at a time we do not expect. He gives some examples. 2 men will be out in the field, one will be taken, one will be left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill, one will be taken, one will be left. Jesus encourages his listeners, including us, to be vigilant, to be ready, to be prepared, to be watchful. He says, you also must be prepared, for at an hour you do not expect, the Son of Man will come. What would have been the reaction of the disciples to Jesus' words? Would they become anxious, worried, frightened? How does this passage make us feel? It is a kind of wake-up call that in the midst of our ordinary lives, the unusual can happen that does wake us up. Think of the kinds of things that unexpectedly do come into our lives with that wake-up call. Perhaps news about our physical health, perhaps an accident, perhaps news from a place of employment. There can be many unexpected things that occur in our lives. They can make us worried and anxious. The season of Advent calls us to be vigilant and prepared, and not worried and anxious. There is a difference and a similarity. There is something unexpected that is going to happen. We know the Lord will return for that second coming. We just don't know when. We can be proactive in that vigilant way, a kind of positive approach, or we can wait in dread and be anxious, a kind of negative way. In the prayer after communion for the first Sunday of Advent, we say, as we walk amid passing things, you teach us by them to love the things of heaven and hold fast to what endures. The things of this life and this world will pass away, and Jesus tells us it may happen when we do not expect it. But we prepare for that day by keeping focused on the things of heaven and hold fast to what endures. What are those enduring things you will hold on to as a person of faith? Let the gospel fill your week. We have passed out the Magnificat Advent booklets with their daily reflections. Take advantage of them. See you in church. For now, God bless.